Just answering questions with WAPTech. I'm going to be doing an answer to a specific question about a specific subject. I'm also going to address a troll, I guess. Pretty sure it's a fake impersonator troll, which is bizarre for me to say. It's easier for me to say than it is to actually prove, because the whole nature. But anyway, let's get on with it. It's been a while since I've commented. Now it's been, how's it been going? When I saw the airplane picture, I thought that it was to do with 9/11, and made me think of a lingering question I've had, and I thought you might know the answer. This is Shanksville, obviously, here. No, it's not obvious. There's if anybody's curious, the reason September 11th, the attacks on the United States, are so enticing to people who want to study something is because of several factors. CNN not leaving a damn bit of video data raw. I blame CNN. Second, having to have a very narrow scope to any analysis and or judgment or tribunal or panel, because it was such a cluster F of a day. So much shit happened in one damn day that tracking each piece of it down could give you the basis for doing an entire dissertation. Hell, doing an entire college career on it is easy. Next, that's actually why a lot of people do this on a continuous basis, because you can, I mean, it was a day filled with the joke about, well, it's not a joke, the sad thing about September 11th in the United States is it is a single day that caused probably 50 years worth of analysis. I mean, you could make a career trying to figure it out, because so much crap happened, most of which wasn't even planned. It was just shit that happened because of consequences of what other people were doing that day. So anyway, Shanksville. When they show the crash in the field, did we not see any wreckage from the plane? That's a complicated and convoluted way of saying it. Why don't we see any images of plane damage or plane materials or wreckage of the plane? Because, and I'm going to say this simply, assholes like CNN photographers seem to breed by splitting down the middle like bacteria. There are photos showing the wreckage nearby. What they did is they zoomed out, and upper right hand corner of your screen when you look at it over here will be where the actual plane impact is. They'll show a burn mark here, and they won't show you the tail section that was found nearby, or any of the parts. Why? Because nobody would just go up above it and photograph it at various resolutions at various distances. Nobody would do the basic first step of doing analysis. Take a set of photos that are informative and stop trying to emote everybody, CNN. That and the fact that the area had to be cordoned off so that people wouldn't contaminate the scene, because they had to do several things. They had to find all the parts. Every single part. There's a sad story of the parts collection from one incident. I think it was the Lockerbie one, where the parts ended up literally in a storage area. And the other reason is, this was a previously disturbed former landfill that had literally every item you would want to look for in an airplane that had crashed, that had been stirred up recently. So they had to figure out, okay, is this stuff that was in the landfill? It was this stuff from an airplane? Did you know that some parts from airplanes actually do end up in landfills? I mean, literally, that was their problem. They're like, the only thing worse would be crashing into fresh kills, or some currently active one. They put down a layer of dirt, layer of garbage, layer of dirt, and it gets kind of mushy. So when the plane nosed in that thing that was now turned into something other than a landfill, it really did hit softened material with multiple layers in it of literally history. So anyway, this may be off-limit topic, but I'm interested in your opinion. Good to see you still on the tube. Well, I may not be. I'm being serious about that. This is foreshadowing. Let's see what happens over the next week. No, it's not actually YouTube killing off my channel. It's worse. It's not an off-limit topic. I make some topics off-limits, like Sandy Hook now, if you won't stop trolling. This guy isn't trolling. He's asking a legitimate question. The reason you don't see any good images is because nobody made any. I'm not kidding. Nobody thought that that was important, because they don't do what I call defensive documentation. If you have a car wreck, you photograph every fucking part of it, because you know someone's going to question your narrative. But for some reason, so now when there's any incident, they come out with cameras and video recorders and do 3D land-based geometry analysis of everything. And someone asked an FAA crash investigator about something recent. It was a minor one. Why did you do so much documentation? And he just said, if we didn't do documentation, you'd be suspicious about it. If we do documentation, you're going to be suspicious about it. We get paid a decent enough wage that we can afford to do extreme documentation. We're going to keep doing that so that you can't claim we didn't do so. Any other questions? No? Good. He didn't wait for the guy to respond. And I can't find the recording of it, but it was about some stupid thing where a plane crashed but nobody died. Photographs of 10 March 2019 Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 impact site show a large crater with only small pieces of wreckage. This one is now making a lot of annoying websites very quiet because it looks almost identical to the impact. So some of them are cooking up something bullshitish. This was in March. They still haven't come up with an answer to it. If you post a mentioning of Flight 302, Ethiopia, or the date, they'll flag you and block you because they know that's an explanation, because it was yet another crash. Well, it's not the same. It also happens to be involving a specific type of engine recently, so it's going to be infesting their board. Hey, this is a lot like the crash site at Shanksville. Blocked. They go SJW on your ass. Can't take it. Facts get in the way of fun, I guess. This is their idea of fun. The crater for the, I can't pronounce it, Avia Tupolov Tu-154M plane crash in Birkenau, Russia, July 3rd, 2001, looks identical too, in some photos. In the full range of photos, it actually looks different. But the first photo coming up looks like the Shanksville impact, because they did actually make a big hole in the ground. One of them is a drag mark. Also, the impact site for, I forgot again, that one airplane, the hit in a British Isles location, it made a gouge mark. And most of the plane was destroyed. Something going 500 miles an hour in impact is going to disintegrate. That's why the word disintegrate was used. On 9/11, Flight 93 hit Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Photos, radar, flight data recorder, and witnesses and coroners, the NTSB, United Airlines, the insurers, and all victims' families agree that it fragmented, end up largely inside the soft dirt of a layered landfill, and parts of it did actually get thrown up in the air and ended up, well, it was 6 miles away. It landed in this lake. No, it landed 6,000 feet away. Someone lied badly. 6 miles and 6,000 feet are not the same thing. A little over a mile away. Some light material like paper and stuff landed near or in a lake or a river. Everyone says, well, there's this fantastical assertion I'm making about what happened that day, and I'm not going to back it up. And then you look it up, they're lying. Every conspiracy theorist either has, if you're a conspiracy theorist or a researcher, stop saying conspiracy theorist. Say, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm a researcher. I don't lie. Stop faking evidence, stop lying, stop embellishing. Just stop it. It's the reason you're not going to, well, we want to be taken seriously in a court, but you've lied repeatedly. You lie continually. Your entire website's filled with lies. No one has to take you seriously because your non-credible or incredible statements are shit. Flight data recorder found buried in the ground at the landfill, which is softened in different layers, said it was going 487 knots at a 41.1 degree negative angle, rolling about 10 degrees a second on its axis at impact, and not the 3 degrees at 150 knots you get from attempting to crash land and safely do it, or doing a normal landing. You try to land a plane. They weren't trying to land the plane was nosediving, or not quite. Now, 40 degree angle is like this. This is 45, because you just, this distance and this distance are identical, which means you're falling as much as you're going forward at 45. They were going at a negative 41 degree angle, which could be this or this. Either way, it was enough of an angle to drive most of the airplane into the ground. Things don't magically lose their momentum just because they have been severed or fragmented on an impact. The claim made by a bunch of conspiracy theory websites, not physicists, is that on impact, every piece of material loses inertia, loses momentum. It can't move any further. But any one of you can throw a clay pot out of the ground, or a Smurf, and it'll fragment and splatter everywhere. Icky Smurf image. So, the individual pieces with their momentum, because they have matter in them, fragments don't just instantly stop midair and drop to the ground like you want them to be so you can create a straw man. They carry it all over the larger area because they carry all of the momentum that wasn't expended in the ground. The momentum is energy transferred by matter. If they transfer all of the energy into the dirt, they can come to a stop nearby. That can't happen at that point. That's a 50-50 shot. Even the people claiming Newton's law and then writing it wrong say half the energy would have to be in them. Okay, it's going 500 miles an hour, weighs hundreds of tons on impact. That's it. I mean, it really is that straightforward. And yeah, there is pictures of the debris. Most of the pieces were shredded. A tail section was seen, and I'm linking to all the images that show it. The reason people didn't show the tail section is either A, it was in a slightly different location and not seen immediately, and they moved it back to it. Someone's going to claim conspiracy theory shit there. Or it was in frame, and they deliberately didn't photograph the tail section. I'm not voting for that last one, but I've seen CNN reporter cameramen avoid pointing the camera on purpose at something that's non-ambiguous and would eliminate question, so that they can cause people, conspiracy theorists, to watch the video over and over again and get page views. Yes, I said it. CNN harnesses the power of conspiracy theorists every single time. They even have little meetings on how they can keep those people, they don't name them, from leaving the page. Their highest grossing source for ad revenue on CNN's websites and a lot of other sites are conspiracy theorists who keep rewinding the video. If you downloaded the video, they would probably put up one that would just answer your question quickly and immediately and not do this. But I still blame CNN. And now we get to the part of the video that I'm just going to acknowledge something. It's back, or it's a fake. From 2014 forward, someone went onto the internet having a hard-on for me. You know, objectively, I would say this is a fan, or a stalker, or I don't like you that way, or something else. And they were upset by something. I'm not going to tell you what you did wrong. If I have to tell you, I'm not going to tell you. That sounds like an ex-girlfriend. Never met the person. But anyway, the person showed up on the channel and called themselves various names, and then started just making channels impersonating me because YouTube and Google thought it'd be a good idea to use the real name function, which meant you could make a duplicate channel. Before that bullshit, stupid mistake they made, you couldn't make a channel with the same name as anybody else. You had to come up with a unique name. They decided that they wanted everyone to use their real name. No one did. And they made it to where anybody could make an impersonator channel easily. Proxy impersonation is when a person goes around on the internet claiming to be you, wearing your skin like Buffalo Bill, excuse me, and impersonates you and tries to make you look bad and get you in trouble. And it worked because YouTube and Google wouldn't acknowledge, although they did at one time, yes, we know it's a different set of channels and we know that they act totally different than you, but we want to punish you because you have videos. Why don't you punish the channel that's actually doing the shit that doesn't have videos and eliminate them? There were 300 some odd channels. I made logs of all of it, offline and online, and handed it to YouTube and Google and said, why are you letting this happen? Or is it because you won't admit your real name policy is being exploited, like it obviously would be? They still have it in place. You still have to use your real name. I don't. But what did happen? What, where? Okay, let's read. You don't have much to say now, do you, faggot? Wait until you, the faggot who raped his own child, now on YouTube, kill yourself, worthless bitch. I've never had any children. I haven't birthed anything. I haven't even been pregnant. So anyway, next. You forgot to tell your subs you violated this kid. I wonder why worthless pieces of crap like you exist. Kill yourself, bitch. So apparently this person's confused about whether I have an innie or an outie. Next. You never should have done that. Effed with me, you faggot. Now it's my turn. That's a song by Berlin. Oh, it's my turn. Don't listen to this faggot. Kill yourself. Fuck you. Faggot bitch. So I flagged all of it for harassment and said, and I also included it because they let you put in a note, hey, dickheads, this is overt behavior by somebody who's threatening to ruin my life and blah blah. Why aren't you listening? But they'll flag this video, and this idiot will flag this video as well. I'm putting this at the end of the video to explain this. If you see somebody posting nasty comments with my channel icon and name, double click their icon and see if there are any videos. If there aren't any videos, it's not me. This is going to happen again if it's the same idiot. When is the name No Bugs and hundreds of others? This one is now using part of one of the names that was used before. It may or may not be him. I think it's a fake. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Don't take any wooden realities.